Hello and welcome back to another final table commentary. If at any point in time you find yourself not caring for the commentary, there'll be a link in the description down below to the video and KalipokerTV poker replays, so you can go check out the action in some silence. With that being said, today, what do we got going on? A New Year's series, a 320 event. McDot with an ace and a queen comes in for the open. They're suited and booted. Voka comes in for a 3-bet with the ace-9. Oh, that's cool to see. Hopefully McDot rips it in. We also got Vlad the Slay on the final table with 53 blinds, Guzma with about 120, Yao with 33, Darwin with 76 blinds, and then we got Rod with 100 blinds. McDot does find the 4-bet all in, and they take it down pre-flop. Vlad with a king 10 under the gun will let it go. 10-4 for Yao in this small. We'll probably fold. Guzma with the queen jack waits patiently. And they do just get walked out. So we got 21k for the victor. We see a deal will be made. That doesn't really matter. We're here to see the action, learn a few things, see some final table dynamics play out with the strongest players as Vlad gets a walk with the queens. King 9 suited for Voka with 43 blinds will come in for the open, and doesn't look like too much is doing. McDot with an 8 and a 3, the same suit, will let that go. Blinds go up. Rod in the big blind with a 7 deuce O. Might see a Guzma open with a king 10. Queen again for Vlad from the button this time around. We'll stick in a 3-bet. The question is, what size do we go? 6.5 blinds, and Vlad gets the 3-bet through. Boo buddy boo. Ace 10 for Darwin under the gun. 63 blinds will come in for the open. 2.1 blinds is the sizing. Voka with a king jack suited in the big blind will probably play call, and we'll see 3 cards. Rod folding a jack, folding a club. Bad news for Voka. I'm very likely to find the fold here, and they do. Voka plays call and flops a friggin' flush. As the board completely locked up, no outs for Darwin. They could check it back or start it off with a small bet. They elect to put in 1.4 blinds. Voka quickly raises to 6. Darwin, of course, finds a fold. No action for Voka's flop flush, and then they get a couple of jacks. We see McDot with an ace-queen suited once again. Guzma with a king 8 suited comes in for the open. If I'm McDot, I might land on the call here. And then Voka might do the 3-betting. Instead, we see McDot land on the 5-blind 3-bet, leaving them with 22 behind. Not the best spot for Jack from the small blind. Voka, what do we do? They're thinking cold 4-bet, aren't they? And what's the size? Do we rip it all in, or do we make it like 11, maybe 10 blinds? Do we ever just click it to 9? I don't know. Voka's reasonably deep in the tank here. And then some players will just fold Jack pre-flop. I'm not one of them. I don't think Voka is either. I think Voka's going to 4-bet, and the question is, what size is the 4-bet? Call is pretty stupid in my opinion. You still got Guzma in the pot. It's either going to be a fold or 4-bet. And the fold comes in. McDot gets one through with the ace-queen. 8-8 for Vlad. McDot with a couple of kings. Bad news for Vlad. This open, we'll see a 3-bet. McDot might make it 6 blinds to go. Again, maybe 5 blinds? 5.5 this time. Yeah, when the big with the Jack 10 suited, we'll have to let that go. And Vlad hopefully finds the fold here. And not the 4-bet all in. Nice fold by Vlad. Preserving every penny. McDot's up to 35 blinds, and that puts them in second last place spot still. But they are back in the game, you know. Darwin with an ace on the button will come in for the 2.2 blind open. Yeah, let's go of 8-10 suited. Queen 6 for Guzma defends the big blind. 10-9 5 flop. No pairs for nobody. Backdoor straight draws for everybody. Darwin checks it back. We get the queen of diamonds on the turn, so Guzma makes top pair. Darwin blocks the nut flush draw. Is that a reason to bet? Probably not on the queen turn as it completes. Jack 8, King Jack. Darwin says, just kidding, Brendan. We're going for a big bet here. We block the nut flush draw, yo. King of clubs on the river, so one-liner to the jack. 15 blinds in the middle. Darwin blocks ace jack, which is the nuts. I think we got to go for a bet here. If we're going to be betting the turn, you know. There's the bet by Darwin, 8.5 blinds. And if Guzma can find the call here, they're obviously good. But it would be one hell of a read. There's the call by Guzma. They don't even go into their time bank. They just use a couple of seconds to think it through, find the call button, high five their buddies, and they're moving along with 110 blinds. Ace queen for Rod will come in for the open. Yeah, with a couple of sevens, could always dunk it in. They pass on the spot with 24 blinds. They're just going to look for a better one. Guzma with a king 9 suited will call from the small. And we get a king 9-2 flop. Rod with backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, and an overcard. That overcard doesn't matter. Backdoor 2 pair draw, backdoor 3 of a kind draw. Rod bets 2 blinds. Guzma quickly check raises to 7. Rod not too happy about the action, finds the fold. 10-10 for Guzma, Jack-Jack for Yao. That's good news. And Darwin with the king-queen suited will come in for the open to just over 2 blinds. Yao could always call. Don't have to 3-bet the Jack-Jack. What I want to see is a Yao 3-bet. Guzma rip it all in. Darwin get out of there. Yao holds with a Jack-Jack. 10-10 can always fold as well here. Seeing this action, a Darwin open, a 3-bet. There's the 4-bet with the 10s. That's good to see for Yao. They should be getting a double up here, providing there's no 10s coming. Do we ever fold Jack-Jack facing this 4-bet? Man, I don't think so. Not after we put in this 3-bet here to 5.5 blinds. I think we're just all in. It's most likely going to be ace-king. There's might be some ace-queen suited. Then obviously the aces, kings, queens, all the way down to 10s apparently for Guzma. Every once in a while, would they stick in 9s and 8s? Probably not with the 4-bet. They might just start to find a fold. But anyways, the jacks do hold. And Yao's up to 53 blinds. King 10 for Guzma opens it on up. Still the big stack on the final table. Rod with an ace in the big blind. A 3-bet would be cool, but ace 6-0. I don't know if we 3-bet here. Rod calls king, queen, 5 flop. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw for Rod. Sees a 1.8 blind bet into 5.4. Guzma with the top pair. Bets real small, and he gets check raised. 5.8 blinds. I wasn't expecting this, but backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw is properties for a check raise. Rod says we're off, Guzma says we're off to the turn with a call. Jack of spades completes the flush. Ace 10, 10-9. We get another call. Ace on the river. Guzma with that 10 makes a straight. Rod with the toppest of pairs and blocks the nuts with that ace of spades. Probably checks it over. If you bet again, that'd be cool. I think Guzma might talk himself into a call with the straight on the river. Guzma could always check back this straight. It's a very scary situation if we're being honest. There might be some 5-5, king, queen, no, not queen, jack. Do you ever try to get a 10 off the pot by jamming? Guzma goes deep in the tank here, thinking all their options through. So a jam would be to get Rod off a chop pot. A value bet would be get called by 2 pairs, potentially the 5-5. A check is because the board in situation is rather scary. Guzma lands on the check after thinking that one through, and they'll take the pot down. I'll have to fast forward through the break. Alrighty, Roo. Not too much doing here. Voka in the big blind with an ace and a 7. Guzma with some newfound chips. Queen 10-0 will let that go. 7-6 suited for Guzma opens it up. Rod quickly folds 8-4 suited, of course, in the small blind. We get a Jack 7-6 flop. Guzma with bottom 2 pairs. Bets 1.8 blinds. Focused snap calls with the A7. Top kicker middle pair. Get the 9 of clubs on the turn. Voka checks again, of course. Guzma might bet large, 7.2 blinds. Why would they ever check back the turn? Why did I say might? Guzma certainly bets large on that turn card. Voka folds the pair of 7s. Not too much doing here. Rod with an ace on the button will probably come in for the open. Voka with 8-6 suited will unfortunately have to find the fold. Even facing the min raise. Very pretty 8-6 of hearts. I don't know why, but it's ace-6 is 8-6. It's got to be one of my favorite holdings. Just got so much playability sometimes when you're deep. Anyways, Darwin makes a pair of 3s here. Rod bets 1.8 blinds, about a third pot. Darwin calls, 9 on the turn. Good news for Rod. They make top pair, top kicker on the turn. They pretty well have the board locked up, just sweating a 3. There's only 2 left in the deck. They bet 6 blinds, and Darwin will likely fold. Although, to be fair, there's a lot of draws still out there. And that 3 could be good. Does Darwin call? There's the call by Darwin. 3 on the river. Uh-oh. So Darwin smacks a 2-outer. And if I'm Rod, I go for some more value here. What size do we go? Like, close to 15 blinds, like 14.5? Yes, 14.6. No surprises by Rod's big bet here. And then if I'm Darwin, I stick in my last 15, 16 blinds. And then if I'm Rod, I cry. Whoa, do I cry. I let out many tears. I find the call and lose every time. Because it's never a bluff. Darwin leaves himself with 1 blind, actually. What do we do? Rod calls very quickly. He didn't let out any tears, but he still finds the call, and he's down to 21 blinds. Darwin says, "Thank you, Poker Stars." 80 blinds for Darwin. Rockets him into second place position. Ace-9 for McDot. Yeah, with a couple of 10s in the big blind. McDot's been active, but they've had quite a few holdings to play with. So the perception is they're active. Yao might 3-bet because of that. Yao goes in the tank, so the 3-bet's probably coming in here. And then the question is what size? All in, or do we make it... Nah, just all in. And Yao takes it down pretty with the 10s. Not much doing here. Guzma with a couple of 3s. Yao in the small with an ace and a 4. I suppose we'll see a little bit of action. A limp. Guzma quickly checks a Jack 6-4 flop. Yao makes a pair, checks it on over. Guzma checks it back 7 on the turn. So Guzma's looking for a 5 or a 3. We get the 8 of spades on the river, so this will go check, check. And Yao wins. Ace-3 for Darwin. That big stack, 80 blinds. They'll come in for the open here. And Vlad in the big with a 6 and a 5. Could always just find the fold. Vlad's kind of in a weird spot now, as they got Rod and McDot to their left. A couple of shorties, and Voka another seat over. Vlad in 4th place. Has to hang out patiently with the 42 blinds. Gets rewarded with an ace and a queen here. Darwin will open up the Jack 8 suited. You could just see a call from ace queen. 3-bet will take it down pre-flop, of course. What size? Like 8 blinds? Vlad goes in the tank. Something tells me they'll go a little bit larger. They actually just rip it in for 43 blinds. And they'll take it down pre-flop. Blinds go up. Rod the shorty down to 18 blinds with one committed. Queen 5. Oh, that's not what we're looking for. Ace 9 for Volko will probably fold. Guzma with a king and an 8 will open it up. McDot with the ace jack will do something here. Ace jacks of spades. Very playable holding. Puts in a 3-bet to 6.5 blinds. Guzma could always 4-bet all in here. Nah, they just let it go. That would have been really cool to see, but we're just moving along. McDot with 30 blinds. A queen and a jack on the button might get a chance to open it up. Volka in the big with ace 2-0. Let me tell you, this has got to be one of my least favorite holdings. You're like, whoa, I got an ace, yo. And you look at your other card and you're like, that's a deuce. I'm not suited. I can still make straights, but that's a deuce, yo. Volka says we'll just 3-bet it pre-flop and take it down. Volka was staring at that ace rather than the deuce. They do get rewarded with a king-queen suited. Not too much doing. Guzma with a playable 10-9 suited will come in for the open. King-queen. I don't know what to do here. Do we call? A 3-bet could come in. We just 3-bet the last holding. Volka elects to call. Darwin with 8-5-0 will let her go. We get a jack 6-2 flop. 2 spades for Guzma. Backdoor straight draw. 2 live cards with a 10 or a 9. Go Volka sees a small bet and they will fold. King queen. Guzma's right back in there. Yao in the big with an ace and a king will come in for a 3-bet. 9 blinds. No, 8.8. No. Yeah. They play call. Interesting. So I do see this every once in a while, and it's usually just to keep the pot small out of position. We get a jack 6-3 flop. Yao will find the call. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. 2 over cards. Queen on the turn is bad news for the ace king, but this is why you keep the pot small. Although typically what we would have seen is a Yao 3-bet pre and take it down. Guzma bets with their new found top pair, 5.35 blinds. And I don't know what to do here. Yao lets her go with a straight draw. 2 overcards, one is live, one is dead. King Jack for Vlad will open it on up under the gun with, oh yeah, I already said the King Jack. I don't need to say it again, Brendan. Ace 10 for Yao in the smallest, suited and booted. Probably going to play call. A 3-bet would be cool. They land on the call option. 8-2-2 flop. No diamonds for Yao. No backdoor straight draws. 2 overcards for both players. I'm just thinking Yao's in trouble here. They see a 2-blind bet. Do we just fold? Ugh, yucky. What an ugly situation for Yao. They find the call. Nicely done. 10 on the turn. Vlad's still got 2 overcards. No straight draw. That pre-flop aggression. We'll see if Vlad uses it. And they do. They continue to tell the story. 6.8 blinds. And Yao just turned top pair, top kicker. They have to call, but they are not loving life. We could see a river jam and Yao folds. What do we do, Yao? They could always raise the turn here too. 3 of hearts. Okay, Yao checks her on over. Vlad, rip it in. I think we can get the pair 10s to fold. As bizarre as it looks. Do we ever make it like 17 blinds instead? I think it's just an all-in play from Vlad. Ah, they're gonna check. They're a reasonable player. They'll think about it and see. No, 15 blinds come in. 15 blinds is the size, not 17. I don't know if we're gonna get the pair 10s to fold with this sizing. I think we have to rip it all in to get the fold. And then Yao might still sniff it out. Yeah, the 15 blind size was certainly gonna get called. Unfortunately, Vlad's down to 12 blinds, 1 in the middle. Ace and a jack. Does Guzma ever save him with a 3-bet or a call? Voka opens up the ace queen. Guzma calls. If I'm Vlad, I might rip it in. There's the all-in from the ace-jack suited. And I was going to say, sometimes we can get ace-queen off the pot somehow. Nah, queen on the flop. Vlad is dead on the 9 turn. Sucks to see. Voka gets a nice stack, though, and that's fun to see. Darwin has a nice stack. Yeah, with a big stack. Very unfortunate happening there for Vlad. 8-jack from McDot will come in for the open. Rod in the big with the 7-6 suited will probably play call. We'll see 3 cards. McDot will bet a lot and Rod will fold on the flop a lot. Rod might just avoid the situation with a fold pre-flop. 7-6 suited in position seems like it needs to call though. Or in last place. There's the call. 9-6-3 flop. McDot puts in a bet. Rod has to call. I don't know if we raise here. Quick call. 5 on the turn. So McDot's got a straight draw to the 7. The 8 would make Rod a straight. A jack would work. The 4 blind bet is not going to work as Rod has a straight draw to the 4 as well. They play call. Deuce on the river. Hopefully Rod finds a way to hang in here. 16 blinds slide their way. There's the all-in for McDot. If I'm Rod, I'm scared shitless and I might find the fold. Hopefully Rod flicks in a call here. They need these chips and otherwise they'll be down to 7.8. A call. There's the call by Rod. What a play. Pair of 6s hold on up. McDot with the big ass aggressive play. Unfortunately doesn't work for him. Loses about 16 blinds as Rod's up to 32. Ace and a 3 for McDot. Do we rip it in and try to take it down pre-flop? They probably would get it in, or get it through, sorry. Rod with a jack and a 10 will let that go. Nice play by Rod. On that turn you have to call. You don't love it. That was a big bet by McDot. And then on the river, it's just a very tough decision. Do you call for your last 7.8 blinds or do you let him go? Rod thinks it through correctly and gets the job done very nicely. 8-10 for Guzma. Ace-queen for Darwin. And what a play by McDot too, eh? Just with the 8 and the jack. Turns a straight draw, says, I'm going to go bombs away here. Had they bet smaller on the turn, like just slightly, giving them a little bit more juice come the river bluff, I wonder if the job would have gotten done. Like, I wonder if McDot sized differently. Could they have gotten Rod off the pair of 6s? It's an interesting hand. McDot says, let's just go 3 streets like a regular human being and try to get McDot off the pair of 6s. Or sorry, try to get Rod off the pair of 6s. And it didn't work out. Ace-queen didn't improve here, so the pair of 10s will hold up for Guzma. 8 blinds will slide their way and they'll just check it down. Boopity boo. King 10 for Voka with a 45 blind stack will open the button. Darwin with an ace in the small could always 3-bet. They just find the fold. Yao in the big. 9-7 suited will play call. Ace King 3 flop. This is boring as Voka bets 1.6 blinds and they'll take it down. Not too much doing here. Yao gets folded 2 in the small blind with a 6 and a 5. We're playing 70 blinds deep. Yao completes, flops a straight draw to the deuce or 7. Guzma with a pair of 4s. A 6 or a 5 is good for Yao. They see a 1 blind bet. We're certainly off to the turn. They play call, 7 of diamonds, so Guzma's got the flush draw. Yao with this straight. Pair of 4s with that flush draw will likely check it. Oh no, just kidding. Guzma bets 3 blinds. Maybe to check back the river. To get called by ace highs, 5 of clubs. Certainly it just goes check check. Yeah, there we go. Guzma bets on the turn large to just check it back on the river unless they improve to a boat, probably. I wonder what they do if they make a flush. Do they still try to get called by straights and like 3 of a kind there? With that 10 of diamonds? Interesting little spot is we move along. Voka with an ace and a 4. We'll come in for the open. Darwin with king queen is thinking about a 3-bet. Yao with king 10 suited could 3-bet as well. There's a 3-bet. Does Yao ever 4-bet here? King 10 suited, interesting spot. No, Yao lets her go. McDot will probably will probably rip her in. Probably likely? What the fuck is wrong with this guy? There's the all-in from McDot. Darwin will say, I think I'm getting the right price to call here. So they'll get it all in with 25%. King on the flop. Pretty dirty. We need a jack or an ace and we don't find it. We lose McDot, unfortunately, but Darwin does pick up a nice pot. That does put him in second place, just above Yao. Now we got a 5-way battle brewing. 5 very capable players. Queen 10 for Darwin comes in for the open. Guzma calls the ducks on the button. Queen 10 suited for Rod in the small. Plays call as well. Ace 7-7 flop. Would have been nice to see Rod 3-bet and take it down pre-flop, but you know, I think they just need a few more chips to be making that sort of play. It's like, wait, you would have wanted to 3-bet to maybe 9.5 blinds pre-flop, Rod only with 30. It's just weird sizing, so Rod elects to call pre-flop. Anyways, we move along. Guzma bets and takes it down with the ducks. Then just a bunch of bullshit. Darwin gets walked with an 8 and a 3. Blinds go up. 8 jack for Voka on the button. What a scary situation for them. I think this is like the second time I've had to say that where there's a final table where Voka... I think it's been Voka the other time. Or I think there's been another time where Vokas looked to their left and said, holy shit, that's scary. Then they look one seat further to their left and they say, holy shit, that's scary. So like Voka's always in these tough spots. They do a great job of battling. So we get an ace 8 for Yao, checking it back, picking up the nut flush draw. Darwin with 10 high, no draw, looking for a 6 or a 10 that's a non-spade. We'll check it on over. Yao will probably bet and take the pot down. What size do we go, like half pot? Nah, bigger, right? Do we just go to the river for free? What do we do in Yao's shoes here with that ace of spades? Maybe half pot. That's my final guess. Nah, Yao goes to the river for free. Deuce of spades. Gives Yao the nut flush. Darwin, again with 10 high. Bets a blind. It's a nice play by Yao to get 1 blind out of Darwin here. Yao raises, of course, with that nut flush. Oh, the board did pair. My apologies. So the board pairs with the deuce of spades on the river. Yao makes the best flush possible. Oh, it just doesn't fucking matter. Darwin with an ace and a 7 will come in for the open. 2.3 blinds is the size. They take it down pre, but it's just interesting to note the change of pace from Darwin. We've seen a 2.01 blind open, a 2.1 open, a 2.2 open, and a 2.3 now. And Darwin's only had like 5 opens, so it's just like he's changing the sizing each individual hand, which is interesting to note. King Jack for Rod. Whoa, that's something cool to think about. Could you imagine, like, so many players just have preset buttons, right, where you just have opening sizes. Could you imagine if instead of using those preset buttons, you consciously took the time to think about each decision and what size you want to go? That's just cool to note. This is seemingly what Darwin's doing. Anyways, what a bunch of useless words. Rod with a flush draw to the spade. The king high still best. Guzma looking for a queen, a 7, or an 8. We get the 3 of hearts on the river. So if Rod finds a way to hang in there, they'll get 6 blinds. Guzma checks with the queen high. Rod doesn't have a great reason to bet. Could try to get ace high to fold, I suppose. Nah, they just check her down and win the pot. Rod back at 28 blinds. Gets a king 7 suited in the small blind. Looks like it'll fold to them. 3-8 for Voka in the big. Limp pot. Voka raises to 3.5 blinds swiftly. If I'm Rod, I flick in a call and we hopefully make a pair. 8-6, 2 flop, 2 spades. Rod with the second nut flush draw. An overcard. Voka with top pair. A juice pot pre-flop. Voka bets 2.3 blinds. Rod raises to 5. Uh-oh. I'm scared for my friend Rod. Not my friend, but you know, the player Rod. So we get a 5 on the turn, giving Rod more outs to a 4 or a 9. 17.6 blinds in the middle, and there's 20 behind. Rod bets 5.8. Leaving them with 14. If they face a jam, they have to call. Voka will probably just land on the call option themselves. We could always rip to protect our equity, though. 4 on the river. Great news. Rod makes a straight. Voka with that top pair. We'll see the all in and cry for a little bit. Nope. Like, I don't remember. Only I cry when I see these difficult situations where these strong players, I think Voka... Oh, I thought Voka was going to fold. They snap call. Great news for Rod. Picking up a huge-ass pot. 57 blinds. Their aggression is rewarded. And Voka's down to about 10 bigs. Ace-king for Yao. We'll open it up to 2. Ace-4. I think Voka can let her go. They do. King-5 for Darwin in the big. Queen-4, 2 flop. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw for Darwin. Ace-high still good for Yao. We'll bet 1.5 blinds, looking to take the pot down. And Darwin will say, not today, sir. Check raise. 5 blinds to go. Oh shit, Darwin just folds. That could have been an interesting little hand there. Rod with an ace and a queen will open it up. Ace-2 suited for Darwin. Might 3-bet. Just make it something small like 5 point... Nah, he folds. Fuck. 5.5 blinds. Just do something silly, Darwin. Rod takes it down pre with the open. They're up to about 60 blinds, sitting in 4th place, but just barely behind Darwin and Yao. Guzma in the big with a king and a 4. Might see a Darwin open with queen 8. Ace-6 for Yao in the small. Might also limp her in if folded to. Darwin raises 2.3 blinds. So in this instance, I imagine they go for the bigger sizes. They just want to take it down pre-flop. Queen 8 has a little bit of playability, but if you face a 3-bet, you're very happily going to fold. Voka with a 9 and a 9 and 10 blinds will rip it all in. Yao with an ace-queen. Okay, Voka makes it 5 blinds. I think Yao clicks it. We can just make it 10 blinds. They actually land on the call option. Ace-10, 3 flop. Bad news for Voka. They got 4 blinds behind. They rip them all in. They got about 9%. They're looking for a 9. Only a 9. We get the deuce and then a jack. Voka's gone to Alonso in 5th place. They get about $6,100 for their efforts. And a 320 entry. That's pretty good news. King 5 for Guzma comes in for the open. Rod with an 8 and a 10 folds the small. 9-7 suited for Darwin in the big will play call. Queen 10-3 flop goes. Check, bet, fold. 1.25 blinds is the size by Guzma into 5 blinds even. And Guzma takes it down. Ace Jack for Rod will come in for the open. And then we'll see if Darwin plays 6-7 suited. In the small blind, it's not appealing. I don't know. No, Darwin does just find the fold. Yao with a 9-2 suited in the big blind. They elect to call and flop quite well. 9-5-2 flop. Or sorry, what the hell? 9-5-4 2 club flop. You see how similar those sentences were, but I was just wrong the first time. Anyways, Rod bets 1.65 blinds into 5. Yeah, with that top pair in the flush draw, has the board looking clean. King of clubs on that turn gives Yao the flush. Any club would give Rod the best holding. Yao's not folding. They see a 6 blind bet. No way we're folding the flush on the turn here. Do we stick in a raise is the question. Get a call, deuce of hearts on the river. Hopefully Rod gives up the bluff. Just goes check, check. Again, if they bet, they're going to get snap called. If not, jammed on. They bet 20 blinds. Bad news. 20 blinds they'll never see again. Yao finds the call pretty quickly and shows him the flush. Rod says, fuck. E7 for Rod. 4-handed from the cutoff. Just finds the fold. Um, 4-3. Yao limps her in. 8-5 for Guzma. Jack, Jack 10 flop. Flop goes check, check. 7 on the turn. Guzma bets 1.65 blinds into 2.5 and they'll take it down as Yao has 4 high. King 9 for Yao and Rod. Rod is suited and booted. Yao's in position. Guzma with an ace will fold the small. If Rod 3 bets, they take it down pre. Instead they play call and we get a 10-9-8 flop, all spades. Nobody with a spade. We're going to chop this bad boy up. Providing somebody doesn't fold. Yao in position, bets real small, 1.1 blinds into 5. Rod will land on the call most likely. Every once in a while you see Rod folds. Shit. Yao gets one through. And they get rewarded with jacks, but no action for him. I was going to say, every once in a while you see a check raise on that flop. Not likely with second pair. No flush draw. But every once in a while you see it. Rod just lands on the fold and preserves the 1 blind. Queen 7 for Darwin will limp it in. Yao with an A7 will raise. Oh no, we check it on back. 6-5-4 flop. Both players with straight draws to the 8 or 3. Darwin with a backdoor flush draw. Yao with 2 overs. Checks it on back. 9 hearts on the turn. So if we aren't chopping this up, Yao is likely to win. Darwin bets 2.3 blinds, which is rather large. 2.5 blinds in the middle. Yao finds the call, Jack of hearts on the river. Darwin bets again, 4.7 blinds, and this might get the job done. There's a lot of cards out there that aren't an ace or a 7. And Yao does let it go. Nice play by Darwin to steal that little pot there. A7 this time for Darwin. Yao with a king 10 in the small blind. We could see a raise. Nah, I don't think we 3-bet. King 10-0. 2.3 blinds is the size again from Darwin. So it seems like maybe they just believe in this situation. Playing against the 2 strong big stacks. 4-handed, 5-handed, 4-handed. We need to go for the 2.3 blind raise from the button. So all about my yabbling and jabbering about him individually picking a size each hand. Maybe I was just wrong. As we see Guzma raise and take it down pre. Ace 8 for Guzma, ace ace for Rod. Guzma opens. If Rod plays call, that's kind of cool. There's the call off 20 blind stack. Darwin with a couple of ducks will play call. Right? There's the call from Darwin. 8 jack for Yao. Are we going 4 ways to a... No, 3 ways to a flop. Ace queen 3. So no set over set, but Guzma does have top pair versus Rod's aces. Which is obviously top set. Check it back, Rod. Oh, we bet 2.5 blinds. Darwin swiftly folds. Kuzma calls. 4 of hearts on the turn. So I don't know if Rod gets a full double, but if we bet small enough, we'll get another call on the turn here. 4 blinds is the sizing. I think we get another call. I think so. Another call. 6 on the river. Now I think it goes check, bet, fold. If Rod gets a full double, that's awesome. There's the all-in from the top set, of course. There's a few straights I get there, like the 5-2 on the turn, 5-7 on the river. Rod's not calling with that pre-flop. Guzma's not opening that pre. It's really going to be a lot of ace-x versus ace-x or queen-x. So Guzma might think, if I've got a bunch of queen-x here, I might have to call with some ace-x. Otherwise, hands like Jack-10, King-Jack, King-10 might be getting away with the big bluff. But then Guzma says, why'd you call pre-flop? Like Jack-10 suited, King-10 suited, King-Jack suited, I suppose we'll flick in a call. You block ace-ace, queen-queen would 3-bet all in. Threes? Maybe threes? Nah, 20 blinds, I think they would just fold. Guzma does land on the call option. Full double up for the aces. Rod's back in the game with 42 blinds. King-king for Darwin. Rod might open king-8 suited with the newfound position. No, they're still in last place, but they've got plenty of playing chips now. So king-8 does elect to come in for the open. Darwin will 3-bet small. 5.7 blinds. Right, something silly. 5.6, my apologies. King-Jack suited hits the muck for Guzma, and the King-8 suited also hits the muck. Small bet, or 3-bet by Darwin gets through pre, and then they get a couple of queens. Jack-9 suited for Yao. Okay, so Darwin opens to 2.2 this time. They're in second place position. It's interesting. We do get a 3-bet from the Jack-9 suited. If I'm Darwin, I might stick in a 4-bet, but I want to see a call. I want to see 3 cards here. Call. No, we 4-bet. And I think Yao just finds the fold, says, okay, buddy, I guess this spot's yours. Do we ever 5-bet jam? Whoa. In position, I think we would rather call over 5-bet jamming. Yao correctly folds, of course. Preserving that first place position, ace-10 for Darwin once again. That's 3 strong holdings in a row. Guzma with a jack and a 9 on the button will open it up. Ace-10, I think we call. Doopity-doo, 8-6-5 flop. Darwin checks, 8-6, oh I already said the flop. 8-6-5 flop, I'll say it for a third time. Guzma bets 2 blinds. Darwin comes along with a call. No, we just land on the fold. Ace-10, 2 overcards. Backdoor straight draw, we just let her go. Guzma gets away with one there. 8-7 for Darwin, 5-9 suited for Yao in the big blind. Darwin limps. Yao raises to 3. No, he checks it back. Ace-10, 3 flop. Darwin bets a blind. And Yao lets her go. King-6 for Yao in the small blind. Might think about a raise here to about 3. Oh, we limp it in. Fuck. A7 for Guzma will raise. 3.5 blinds is the size. Yeah, 3-bet. Make it 9.5. Ah, no, we're just folding and moving along. A6 for Darwin looks like an open. 2.2 blinds is the size. 9-7 for Rod in the big blind. They find the fold. King Queen for Guzma will open. 10-3 for Darwin in the big blind. Oh, a 3-bet. Who saw this one coming? 8.7 blinds to go. And Guzma just lets her go. Nice little steal there by Darwin. 9 King for Yao gets a walk. King 7 suited for Darwin will raise the button. Guzma in the big with 8-6-0. 2.2 blinds is the size as Darwin's in second place. Covering Guzma in the big blind. Get a King Jack 2 flop. Flop goes check, bet, fold, and we're moving along. Darwin bets 1 blind with the toppest of pairs on a wet ass board. King 9 for Yao, Ace 9 for Guzma. Get a raise and a call and a fold from Rod in the big blind with the 10-4. Does Guzma 3-bet here? Well, there's a 3-bet, 7.35 blinds. Then Yao will fold and get out of the way. Couple of 6s for Guzma, Ace 8 for Rod in the small. Get a raise and a call and a fold from the 3-2. 3-bet Rod. No, because then they'll face the 4-bet jam. They just land on the fold option. Ace 10 for Darwin in the small blind. King 3 for Rod is giving it a think over. They'll fold the button. 8-6 for Yao in the big blind. Sees a limp. Yao checks her on back and flops quite well. No pairs, but a 4, 6, 8, or a 9 gives Yao the best holding. Darwin with 2 overcards. Sees a 1.5 blind bet. And they just swiftly fold. Ace 8 for Darwin. We raise on the button and take it down pre-flop. Eventually. 2.2 blinds again from Darwin. Guzma with a Jack 5-0 in the big folds. 8 Jack for Yao on the button lets her go. 6-6 for Guzma in the small blind. Raises to 2.3 blinds. A little bit of a disrespectful raising size. And they just take it down pre-flop. Aces for Guzma. Not much doing for anybody else. We'll get a min raise and take it down pre. Couple of 7s for Darwin. Ace 4 suited for Yao in the big blind. We get a limp and a raise. A call. We're off to the flop. Now we just limp and check it back. Ace, Queen, Jack goes check, bet, fold, and we're moving along. Hello.
Food is ready.
Awesome. 1.5 blinds is the bet from Yao, and they'll take the pot down. Queen 10 for Rod will come in for the open. Guzma in the big with an ace and a 3. We get a 10-6-2 flop. Top pair bets small and takes the pot down. King 10 for Darwin. Ace 5 for Yao. 3-bet? Like 7.8. 7.8. Oh, he plays call. King, queen, queen flop. 1 spade for Yao and an overcard. Backdoor straight draw. Darwin checks over top pair. Yao bets 1.6 blinds. Darwin will land on the call and we'll be off to the turn. 9 of spades is an action card. Or does Yao check back the nut flush draw on a paired board? Jack 10 makes a straight. So an ace or a spade for Yao. Otherwise, Darwin will take the pot down. 3 blinds in the middle. Or sorry, 3 on the river. 9.6 blinds in the middle. Darwin gonna go for a little value here. It's tough to get called by much worse. Some sort of like ace 9. Some sort of 9-10. 9 jack. What about king 9? It's very difficult. Anyways, the bets gets through. Not much to in here. Guzma raises the button with a 9-8-0 and we'll get it through pre. Jack 6 for Darwin in the small. We'll limp it on in. Yeah, with a 6 and a 9. Nice. They raised to 3.5 blinds. And the raise gets through. Blinds go up. Not much doing here. Darwin on the button with a queen 10 will open and take it down pre. 2.2 blinds is the size. Jack 9 for Yao. On the button we'll raise rod in the big with an 8-6 of hearts. Very pretty holding. They play call, 9-5-5 flop. So 1 heart and a straight draw to the 7 for rod. Yao with top pair. They'll bet small and rod will come along to the turn with a call most likely. Every once in a while we throw in a check raise. That's cool to note. There's the raise to 3 blinds. Hopefully Yao continues with a call so we can see a turn card. If they 3-bet the flop, they'll likely just take it down. 3 of diamonds on the turn. Hopefully rod slows down. Otherwise, they'll just be losing a few more pennies. 3.6 blinds is the size. And it does not quite size up a river jam. It's an interesting sizing here for rod. King of diamonds on the river. 18 blinds in the middle. Rod checks. Yeah, we'll likely check and take the pot down. 18 blinds slide their way. Rod down to about 20 with a king and a 3. We'll find the fold. Yao with a king 10 will open it up. 2-4 for Darwin and the big blind will just likely fold. Ace queen for Yao in the big. Gets a walk. And we got a little break to skip forward through. Boppity boo. Jack 9 for Guzma in the big blind. Queen 7 for Yao in the small. We'll go for a raise. Guzma will play call. Actually, Yao was limping it in, so they are just going to continue that strategy. We get a king 9-5 flop. Backdoor straight draws for Yao. Guzma with middle pair. Yao checks. Guzma bets a blind. Yao thinks through their options and just finds the fold. I was going to say there's some straight draws that they're dominating, like 8-7, 6-7. They just land on the fold option. 9-3 suited. Yao on the button. Rod in the big with a jack 7 suited. Folds to the small. Guzma raises 2.1 blinds. Another disrespectful sizing. Jack 4-0. Rod will likely call this time. And we'll be off to a flop. 10-8-2. Straight draw for Rod. Guzma with an overcard and some backdoor straight draws. 4 blinds, almost 5 blinds in the middle. Rod bets a little under 2 and takes the pot down. Ace-6 for Yao. King 4 for Darwin. We'll get a raise from the cutoff. And Darwin will just fold the big blind. Jack comes in for the open. Yeah, in the big with a 10 and a 2, we'll just let it go. Ace 4 suited, Rod will come in for another open. King 3 for Guzma in the big blind. They just find the fold. Jack 9 for Yao on the button will raise. Rod in the big with a 9 and a 7, might just let that go. Not too much doing here. Queen 9 for Rod in the small blind, might limp it in. 7-4 for Darwin in the big. I wonder what happens if they raise. Anyways, they just check it back. Queen 6-4 flop. Both players with pair status. Darwin backdoor straight draw. Sees a 1 blind lead from Rod. Darwin calls, smacks another 4 on, or another 3 of a kind, this time on the turn. Darwin will bet large. About 3 blinds, a little bit more. Do we ever make it like 4? Darwin bets 5.6. Sizing up the river jam. And if I'm Rod, I'm calling. Looking for a queen, apparently. There's a lot of draws out there. 7-5 is open-ended. Any diamond. 5-3 is open-ended. Not as... well, I guess it's a limp pot. It's possible. Can Rod find a way to get away from it on the turn? Whoa! Rod folds top pair on the turn? What the hell? I was wondering if they were going to jam, too. Rod with a hero fold of a lifetime. Nicely done. Queen 7 for Guzma will come in for the open. Yao with the 8-10 suited in the big blind defends. King 9-3 flop goes check bet fold, and we're moving along. Yao with the backdoor straight draws. Lets her go. Holy shit, what a fold with the Queen 9. Didn't it look like Rod was just about to exit the tournament? 6-9 for Darwin. We'll raise the button. 6-9 for Yao will fold the small. Darwin gets it through pre-flop. Ooh, an ace 10 for Rod in the big blind. We'll see a Darwin open. 2.1 blinds is the size. Interesting little change of pace. Four-handed, Rod could always rip it in here. Look to take it down pre-flop. They could just play call as well. No folding. Rod goes in the tank, so they're likely to 3-bet. I wonder if they ever pick a smaller size than all-in. Do we ever make it like 5.7 blind? Nah, Rod just rips it in. And they'll take it down pre-flop. Ace Queen for Guzma will likely raise and take it down pre. Yeah, with a 6 and a 5 is thinking things through, but they'll let it go. So Queen 9 limps it in, flops top pair, bets a blind, gets a call from the bottom pair. Turn pairs the board, the bottomest of pairs. Rod check. Overbet by Darwin. Rod folds. Very nicely done by Rod. 9-8 versus Queen 10. We get a Queen 9-4 flop. 1 diamond for the Yao. 2 clubs for Guzma. Both players with backdoor straight draws. Guzma with the toppest of pairs bets small, gets a call. 4 on the turn, pairs the board. Like, you would never expect Guzma to be looking to fold in this situation, although it's much different. It's not a limp pot. But they do check back the turn. Yao makes 2 pairs, but Guzma's got a better 2 pairs with the queens and 4s. Yao bets 2.5 blinds. Guzma will call. Maybe even stick in a raise. Not likely. They block Jack 10. Hard to get called by worse. Guzma still finds the raise. 8.5 blinds to go. Can you imagine if Yao 3-bets the river here, blocking the boats? Do it, Yao. Check back on the turn was very sneaky by Guzma. . They do get a call on the river from the 9-8, 2 pairs blocking boats. Nicely done by Guzma, and they just put themselves in a very comfortable third place position. Pretty well tied 3 ways for first. Yao with a 6 and a 10 in the small blind is suited and booted. We'll limp it on in. Guzma with a7, we'll check it back. We get a queen 10-8 flop. Backdoor straight flush draw for Guzma, gets a free turn. Ace of diamonds, good shit for Guzma again. No flush draw for Yao, but a pair of 10s, looking for a 6 or a 10. Guzma bets 1.7 blinds into 2.5. I wonder if Yao can just let this pair of 10s go on the turn here. Plenty of flush draws, some straight draws out there. But it's just going to be very difficult to play the river, so Yao does let go of the pair of 10s. King 9 for Guzma in the small blind. Might just raise and take it down pre. No, we limp it in. Force Rod to see a flop with 6 and 2. Rod plays raise to 3 blinds. Get a quick call, a 9-9-4 flop. This is not going to work out for Rod unless it goes run or diamond diamond. And the board doesn't pair. Rod bets small 1.4 blinds. They're just not getting these pennies back. We'll get a raise from Guzma with a 3 of a kind, and Rod will get out of there. King 8 for Rod. They limp it on in. Darwin with a 7 and a 3. Darwin raises to 3.5 blinds. Rod is in a weird spot here with 17 behind. They limped it in. They do find a call. No pairs for him, but they still got the best holding with the king high. They got 3 in a row. Darwin with a backdoor straight draw in there as well. Or 2 of them. A few of them. More than 2. We get a 9 on the turn. Pairs the board. Rod probably doesn't feel too comfy with king high here. If Darwin blows on the pot, they could probably take it down. 2.5 blinds is the size. And I think if I'm Rod, I let this go. No surprise to see the king high hit the muck. Nice little steal by Darwin. King 10 for Yao gets a walk. Ace 8 for Yao in the big blind, or sorry, in the small. King 5 for Guzma in the big. Get a limp and a raise and a call. Yao thinking about switching up the pace here? Oh no, their just eyes are away from the screen. Oh, they do get a limp in at the very last second. King 10, 6 flop. Yao almost folded the ace 8 pre. Has the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw going on. They bet 1 blind. Guzma will come along to the turn with a call. Smack another king on that turn card. Guzma with 3 of a kind. Has the board locked up. Yao slows down. Guzma will bet something. Maybe large because there's so many draws out there. Ooh, they check it back. Give Yao a free river. 8 of hearts. Yao has some showdown value. They had it with the ace as well. Yao bets 1.7 blinds that they'll never get back. Guzma will come in for the raise. And then Yao's going to be in a weird spot. Guzma gives him a weird sizing 8.44, so it's about 7 to call. A little bit less than that. And nice fold by Yao. Blinds go up. Queen 9 for Rod in the big blind, 8-8 for Yao. Jack 7 suited for Darwin will come in for the open in second place position. Yao calls. Rod lets Queen 9 go. We get a 10-9 2 flop. So Darwin looking for an 8 or a jack. Yao says I've got a couple of 8s, yo. 10-9 2 goes check check 3 on the turn. No heart for Darwin. I don't think they bet here. Or do we? We don't mind bet folding, so we could just go for a big bet. 9.5 blinds is the size. And yeah, says, what the fuck? What is this all about, Darwin? And the 8s hit the muck. Nicely done. King for Darwin. Whoa, Rod with a queen and a 10. We'll see a button open. Ace-6 for Guzma. Rod quickly folds. Yo, so queen 9 limps it in. Flops top pair, bets a blind, checks the turn when the board pairs and folds and is alright. Rod is a wizard. King for Darwin goes for a 3-bet and takes it down pre. Not much doing here. Darwin with a 9 and a 5. Yao as well with a 9 and a 5. Sees a limp. The great 9-5 offsuit battle of 2025. Darwin flops. Frickin' flush draw. Both players with bottom pair. Only turn 2 pairs. So we could see a big bet from Darwin. No, I might go for the check. What do we do? Check raise? We check calling? What the hell do we do here with 9-5? Yao bets. 1.5 blinds is the size. And then Darwin has a weird spot. Bottom 2 pair. They aren't scared of the river card, so I suppose we call. No, they stick in a raise to 5.4 blinds. And if I'm Yao, I'm a little worried. I'm not too happy about this. We are chopping the pot most frequently. 4 of diamonds comes on the river. I think this turns into a snoozer now that Darwin doesn't have a flush. Might just go bet call and we're moving along. 9.5 blinds is the size from Darwin. And Yao very likely to call. Yep, and we chop the pot. Yeah, with a jack and an 8, sees a Darwin open. We'll let that go. 8-6 for Guzma in the big, plays call. We get a 4-4-2 flop. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw for Darwin. 2 overcards. They bet 1.2 blinds in position and take the pot down. 3-8 for Yao on the button. We'll find the fold. Guzma with a jack and a 3. They just walk out Rod with a 7 and a 2. They have 11 blinds and a 2 and a 4 in the small blind. Queen 7 for Guzma on the button. Looks like a Darwin walk. Ace Queen, Guzma raises. Yeah, with a couple of 5s in the big blind. I think this is just call pre-flop. We'll see if Darwin comes along with King 2 suited as well. Or 3 bets maybe. Bad timing if they elect to do it. They'll lose a 7.11 blinds. Actually, I think Guzma just calls, right? Guzma does call, and yeah, Darwin's losing the pot. Ace 10-4. They got that backdoor straight draw, backdoor straight draws. Backdoor flush draw, so they're not dead. They bet 4.4 blinds. The thing is just Guzma's not folding. What if it comes runner, heart? Deuce on the turn. So Darwin picks up a 3 of a kind draw and a 2 pair draw. Not quite what they're looking for. They still check. Pretty well giving it up now. Guzma will bet like half pot. Oh, smaller, 6 blinds. Still sizes up a river jam. I just wonder if this actually couldn't get a call from the bottom pair. There's still plenty of heart draws and straight draws out there. The Broadway draws, heart draws. Darwin finds a call, 3 of diamonds on the river. I don't think Darwin lead jams, but he might get showdown with that bottom pair of 2s. 1 liner to a 5. Does Guzma bet small again? Don't think we want to jam here with ace queen. What we really don't want is to go bet, jam, and then what? So do we jam for that reason? I think we just check back ace queen here. And Guzma lands on the check. King 9 for Rod will fold the cutoff. 3-5 for Yao in the small. We'll just find the fold. Guzma gets a walk. Healthy first place position with 70 blinds. Boppity boo. 5-7 suited. They rip it all in. Rod with an 8 and a 4. The same suit. We'll find the fold and we're moving along. A couple of 8s for Darwin, jacks for Rod. That's good news as we see Guzma folding an 8 as well. They might even come in for the button open. There it is. Rod will rip it in. Does Darwin ever fold 8s? Probably not, but I don't know what to do once you see the jam. I don't know. You don't really want to rip it all in. You don't really want to call. Darwin says calling's better than folding any which way. We're looking for an 8. We don't find any 8 rods. Rod gets the full double. They're up to 20 blinds. Darwin down to 33. An ace and a 9. We'll see some blind on blind action. Whoa, just kidding. Guzma raises the queen 2 suited. Jack 9 for Yao in the big. Darwin folds ace 9 in the small. Yao will defend with a call. 5-3-3 goes check. Guzma might just bet, and they do bet small, 1.25 blinds. Yeah, with a couple of overs and a backdoor flush draw. And the little bet gets through. King 9 for Yao. They play call. Guzma in the big with a queen and 8, checks it back. Jack 3-2 flop. Flop goes check, check, 8 on the turn. Not much doing for Yao. King high. No straight draw, no flush draw. 2 overcards to the 8. They see a 1.65 blind bet. And they fold the king high. Ace queen for Rod in the big blind. Darwin with queen 8. Not as many chips. Still comes in for the open. Size is down to 2.01 big blinds. Rod will likely just rip it in and take it down pre-flop. Would be interesting to see if they go for a smaller 3-bet, but that might be a little too cheeky out of position. Rod rips it in for 20 blinds and takes it down. Couple of 10s for Yao. Looks like they'll come in for the open. Rod will likely fold the ace in the small blind here. And 7-2 for Darwin will also fold. Jack 10 for Yao in the big blind. Just getting a walk. Blind on blind, Yao with a king 9 will limp it in. Guzma with the ace 4 checks it back and flops top pair. 6s is pairs the board with that ace out there. Flop goes check, check, 9 on the turn. Good little play by Guzma to check back the flop. Let's Yao pick up a pair and they're betting a big blind. Get a call from the pair of aces, 7 on the river. Yao will check, Guzma will bet, and I don't know if we call. It will depend on the size, I suppose. If Guzma bets real small, easy call. They bet 3 blinds. And I still might flick in a call if I'm Yao. Clubs miss. 8, 10, and 8, 5 do get there. Nice fold by Yao with the pair of 9s. Ace 10 for Rod in the big blind will just get a walk. King 6 for Rod. 2-3 for Darwin. Blind on blind. Rod limps it in. Darwin checks it on back. 10-10-7 flop. Flop goes check, check. 8 on the turn. Turn goes check. Darwin checks again with the 3 high. King high checks on the jack river. And Darwin says, I have no showdown value, but I'm still going to check. And just, you can have the pot. Blinds go up. King 9 again for Rod. Ace 4 suited for Darwin. We could see a raise and a 3-bet all in from Darwin. Instead, Rod folds the button. Ace 4 for Darwin will limp in. Queen 2 for Yao in the big blind. Comes in for a raise to 3 big blinds, and Darwin says, okay, let's go to the flop for your elected price. Ace, Queen 7, 1 spade. Yao looking for a queen or a 2. Might check back the flop. He says, no, we'll put in a small bet, 1.5 blinds. Darwin will call. 10 of diamonds on the turn. Surely Yao slows down now, right? 10 on the river. Darwin doesn't play his 4, he plays aces, 10s, and a queen kicker. So chops the pot a lot here. Tries to let the bluffs continue to tell a story. Instead, Yao will just check back the pair of queens. And Darwin will take down a little pot. Uh-oh, King Jack suited for Darwin. Yao with a couple of jacks. We'll see a raise. Probably a 3-bet. Depending on the size. We'll see if Darwin sees a flop or not. 2.3 blinds is the size from Darwin with a big raise. Faces a 3-bet to 7 blinds. We might have to fold still. Do we 4-bet all in? We play call. Ace 10 3 flop. 15.5 blinds in the middle. 22 behind. Whoa, it smells like weed. Probably shouldn't smell like weed inside, so it's a little concerning. King Jack faces a bet on the flop and gets on out of there. Another King Jack for Darwin. I don't know why it smells like weed so much. It's kind of concerning. We're gonna just move along with the weed smell. It's kind of nice. If it wasn't so out of the blue. Like if somebody was smoking weed here, I'd just be like, oh, this is kind of cool. But because like I'm sitting in my room, it's like I just got a computer here, some coffee. Got the cat shitter, which makes it smell like cat piss in here. But with all that being said, it shouldn't smell like weed. Maybe there was a skunk? I don't fucking know. Ace 2 for Darwin will come in for the raise. Queen Jack for Yao on the button. Queen Jack goes in the tank. A 3-bet could come in here. 5 blinds is the size. Nice. And Ace 2 could 4-bet. Darwin could just click it back here. Oh, this short stack poker is beautiful stuff. No, Darwin just finds the fold. King Queen for Darwin in the big blind. Rod with a 6 and a 2 in the small. They limp it in. Darwin might raise it up and take it down pre-flop. .5 blinds is the size, and that will get the job done. I don't imagine Rod calls 2.5 with the 6 and the 2. 10-9 for Guzma will raise. Yeah, with an ace and a 9 in the big. They play call. King 5-3 flop. Flop goes check, bet. Call. Nicely done by Yao with the backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw, an overcard. Sees an 8 on the turn. Gets a free river, 7 of spades completes the flush, and some straights that Guzma won't likely have. 9, 6, 6, 4. Yao bets 2.5 blinds. Guzma will let go of the 10 high, of course. They were thinking about a little bit of a raise blocking the flush there. Ace 8 for Rod will open it up and take it down pretty. King 9 for Yao. They'll raise the button and get it through pre-flop. Aces for Rod will just limp. Darwin will probably check back 9-3. Jack 6-4 flop. Aces bet a blind and take the pot down. Jack 10 for Guzma will come in for the open and take it down pre as Yao has a jack and a 3. Queen 7 for Rod. We'll just let that go from the cutoff. Darwin with 10-8 on the button. Ace 8 for Yao. Darwin lets their holding go. King 5 for Guzma in the big sees a limp. Guzma raises to 3.5 blinds. Interesting spot here for Yao. They didn't want to see it, but they're going to play call. Flop a pair of 8s. Backdoor diamond draw. Jack 8-3 goes check. Really not much doing for Guzma. They bet 2 blinds, continuing to tell the story. Yao will find the call. 7 on the turn, no help for Guzma. Turn goes check, check 4 on the river. Guzma does block the old 5-6 straight. 10-9 might be a better one to be blocking as it's the nards. Guzma bets on the river and takes the pot down. 7-4 for Yao, finds the fold. Guzma with a king and a 2. Guzma raises to 2 blinds. Rod in the big with a 10 and a 9. Disrespectful raising size. 2.1 blinds is too small. Guzma says no, it's not. 10-9 certainly has to call here. All in is the size and they'll just take it down pre. Rod hanging on out in 3rd place. Aces for Darwin, ducks for Yao. Ducks come in for the open. Queen 8 for Rod will fold. Aces for Darwin in the big with 17 blinds behind. If you make it like 4.8 blinds, that'd be cool to see. They go in the tank. 5 blinds is the sizing. Yao, I don't know what to do with your dues, but they quickly fold. Ace 3 for Guzma will open. Queen 9 for Darwin in the small blind off 20 blinds will have to fold. Do we ever play call? Jack 10 for Yao in the big. Darwin does find the fold. Jack 10 calls. We get a king queen 5 flop. Open ender for Yao. Guzma with the backdoor straight draws, backdoor flush draw, an overcard, bet small. Gets a 7 of spades on the turn, so that's a good card for him. Picking up the flush draw. Yao's open ended, sees a small bet on the flop. Bricks on the turn, sees a big bet and has to fold. King 10 Darwin will raise on the button. Guzma in the big. Just, whoa, he's calling. Queen 5-0. Queen 8-2 flop. Uh-oh. Internet might have just cut out. Guess I have to wait till that's back. Shit, we were so close. So Darwin comes in for the open with the king and the 10. Queen 5 calls pre-flop. Flops top pair. Good news for Guzma. Darwin seemingly thinks for a while as the internet is fucking shitty, yo. Let me tell ya. How can you play cards when you can't even load a fucking YouTube video? GG's like, yo, the internet's fucked. I'll just close you. Oh, we gotta check back and a queen on the turn. It's blurry as fuck, yo. I really should have just waited to finish the video, but there's like 5 minutes left. Somehow there's 5 minutes left and we got 4 players. Does Darwin blast off as the screen gets blurrier? Who would have thunk the screen could have got blurrier? 6 of diamonds on the river. I surely just gotta restart. What if I do that? Oh boy. So what's the predictions? Guzma bets with the 3 of a kind and takes the pot down. King high hits the muck. Let's see if the video will load. Darwin goes in the tank with the king high, sees about a pot size bet. And they let it go. Queen 10 suited for Darwin. That looks like an open and a take it down pre-flop. Oh, and the internet says fuck you. But truly, this Queen 10 will just come in for the open. Yeah, with the 7-5, we'll let that go. Guzma could always 3-bet from the small blind. King 8 offsuit. Very playable holding. Well, I mean 3-bettable holding, not a playable hold. Yeah, it's king high, you know. As the internet cuts out again. So what should take 5 minutes is actually going to take about 20. Should I lower the quality? What if we go to this button? Everything's got to load again, that sucks. We do get an open for 7 blinds from Darwin. Who would have thought that? The raise will get through pre-flop, but I don't think he's going to face a 3-bet from the small blind now. And we wait patiently. Rod in the big with the Queen 5-0. We'll let that go. So looking at the results and how much time is left, we've got to imagine that Guzma and Yao find a way to knock out Darwin and Rod. One knocks out the other. Right? You'd think we're just going to chop this up somehow pretty evenly. Somehow find a way to get to even chip stacks. And then Guzma and Yao chop it up. Although, to be fair, I would have figured Yao would have been the type to play. Guzma's a very strong opponent. So maybe they just say, we'll just chop it up. King 8 for 7-3. We get a Jack 8-7 flop. Rod bets, but the internet will not let us know what he bet yet. Oh, I just should have waited. I'm not going to, though. I'm so stubborn. Rod bets a blind. Darwin likely to play call. 5 of hearts on the turn. Looks like the internet shit the bed again. We'll lower the quality once more. Holy fuck, 480. Type of low quality content is this? Are we even going to be able to see their cards? As the internet can't take it. At least we can see what they're holding. Rod with a king 8 suited. Those are spades for both players. Rod bets 1.5 blinds and the internet just cannot take it. Darwin might think about finding the fold now with this pair of sevens. They're not too happy about the action. 1 blind on the flop, 1.5 on the turn, 10 of diamonds on the river as Darwin does find the call. Rod checks it on over. And I would presume Darwin checks it back. And Rod takes a small pot. If Darwin finds a way to bluff, that'd be interesting. As there's a one-liner to the 9. Queen 9 is the nuts. 6-9 is a straight, obviously. Just playing the 9. 6-4 is a straight. Darwin with 7-3 blocks none of that. Bets 4 blinds. And if I'm Rod, I might let go of the pair of 8s. I bet 1 blind on the flop. There's the call by Rod. Nicely done. Darwin's down to 12 bigs. So the internet's really struggling, yo. So does Rod lose to Yao? Darwin loses to Guzma? Then we chop it up? This all happens in under 5 minutes? What a show. Darwin with the 5s will rip it in and take it down pretty. Blinds go up. The internet won't show us the show yet. Holy shit, this is painful. So this has been 6 minutes to get through about 3 minutes of video. So we got about 4 minutes left. So that'll take about 8 minutes. Holy shit, are you serious? Rod with the 9-4 suited will let that go 8-4 for Yao in the small. We'll also just find the fold. Guzma gets a walk with the Queen 4. And like I thought to myself, if you just let the video load, then it'll load, but no, that didn't work. Queen 9 for Darwin. Are we gonna stick in most our stack once again? What would we make it, like 7 blinds? I don't know why, but leave ourselves with like 3 and a little bit. Nah, Darwin goes for a much more reasonable 2 blind open. Rod in the big with a 5-4. We'll probably let that go. Guzma with Queen 5 finds the fold. And Darwin gets one through. Can you imagine if Darwin finds a way to pick up some chips here? 13 blinds for him. Holy fuck. King Jack. Oh, aces for Yao. 10s for Guzma. This is real trouble. So it looked to be a Guzma Yao finish. Might actually be a Yao somebody else finish. Unless Guzma finds a 10. That's still possible. Bunch of diamonds are being folded. Bunch of the potential straight help for Guzma is being folded. Guzma plays call pre-flop. Does Rod rip it in? And then Yao calls and then Guzma folds 10s? What a happening. Nice little call by Guzma. They're in a big cooler situation pre-flop here. Again, Rod could always rip it in with the King Jack suited. There's the all-in for 21 blinds. Yeah, we'll happily get it in. And then I think Guzma can find a fold with the 10s. If they play call, there's no surprises, but yeah, I was going to rip it in for 34 blinds effective. And Guzma does find the fold. Oh, what a beautiful happening. Any jack or a king. Instead, we get the 8 on the river, so both players make a boat. And Rod is Gonzo Alonzo. So we still might get that Yao Guzma finish. As Guzma is a wizard. As a pair of 8s on the 9-8-4 flop. Yao with the backdoor straight draws and the king eye. Sees the loading screen. Now gets the chance to act. Hey, Giddy. You're talking to the microphone? Please don't step on the keyboard. Oh, bonk on your head. Guzma checks. Yao checks. We see a turn. Ace of spades. And the internet says, fuck you, Brendan. Were you trying to do something, man? Were you trying to watch a video? Not today, bucko. No video shall be watched. Yao bets a blind. And Guzma the wizard finds a call 6 of clubs on the river. Guzma's on another level here. This is just a 320 entry, and they're playing top tier poker. Like, this is the 5K main event or some shit. Four-handed folding tens pre-flop. Very nicely done by Guzma. Gets showdown here. Gets the 4 blinds in the middle. So then again, I would presume Darwin just finds a way to give some chips over to Guzma. Then we'll be pretty well tied up. And then we'll chop it on up for about 21K a piece. King 7 for Yao. They'll raise. Should I just lower the quality once more? We'll just see how bad it is. 360. It's like 2005 YouTube viewing. Sorry. I just know this is so close to being done, and I thought the internet would work for me. Come on. 3-9 hits the muck. Yao gets it through with the King 7. Queen 5 gets a walk. Like, I'm gonna sit here for 2 seconds, we'll let it load, and it's just not gonna load at all. Because otherwise I would just sit here for 15 minutes and then wait for it to load. You'll just see it just doesn't load, and look how much left we have. So little. Subscribe to KalipokerTV, Poker Replays. That's a good idea. Go hit that button on their channel. You know, I think I've got a little button, so don't be afraid to hit that little button there too. Obviously, this is a pretty shitty video. Anyways, Ace Jack. Oh, it did load. What do you know? It wasn't doing that earlier. And then if you change the quality, it'll fucking shit the bed. Ace Jack. Ducks for Yao. Get out of the way. Ace Jack for Darwin. Gets it through pre. Yeah, with the 6 and a 5. Look how shitty the video is. 10-9 rips it in. Ace 5 calls. 10 or a 9 or a diamond or a jack. Oh, diamond on the river. That will do. We lose Darwin. And no surprises. The players pause to chop it on up. Guzma says chop. Yeah, we'll say sure. Guzma says GG before Yao says sure. Very interesting. So yeah, we see they chop it on up. 21K a piece. We'll just quickly go back over here. We'll see if this will load. I just want to see what Yao started at. I remember they had a very short stack. 32 blinds, comparatively speaking. They're in second last place. Guzma with the biggest stack finds a way to hang on out. Does get second place. I guess they didn't, or we didn't see the flip at the end. GG. And they'll throw it all in. And then we'll see who gets the victory. Ace 3 versus Queen 6. All in pre. Any queen or 6. Just a queen or a 6. A 5 or a 7 would have chopped the pot. Instead, we see Yao get the victory. So in the end, they get first place. Alrighty, I suppose that's in the show. So if you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this bullshit out. Hopefully, we'll see you in another video. Until then, adios amigos.